special presentation.
From the Captain eSports Network.
All right, tonight is a night we get to turn the microphone up. Start with that. Crown ourselves a champion in the Xfinity block of the Masters of the Draft, the National Association for Stock Car Virtual Racing, as we get ready to go from Talladega Superspeedway, 2.66 mile track. Got some new names in the field here tonight, I've noticed. Got a pretty good size field here tonight. Some names that I'm very familiar with. Some I've raced with, believe it or not, in another Super Speedway series. Good to see those guys here tonight. But either way, we're ready to go tonight here in the Masters of the Draft series. Of course, presented by Vet to Track. Of course, the Xfinity block is presented by Key City Hobby. As we get ready to go here from Talladega, thank you guys for watching on the stream. Greg Thompson, Drift, of course. Yes, Greg, caught myself there, and I thankfully corrected it real quickly. You never know. When you broadcast once a week now, things can change around, as we know. So, getting ready for qualifying. It's about to begin here right about now, as a matter of fact. And, of course, qualifying is presented by Vivid EV as we race for the pole award here this evening. Let's see who can pull this one off, as cars are going to go out there on the track here in about 6 minutes or so, or 6 minutes, 6 seconds. You see the couple guys there from the Lightning team there. I'm trying to get my wits about me here, Rogue. G Lightning, that's the team name. Yeah. Oh, we'll get it together here shortly. Good to see the stream's running well here. Had some issues when I tried to do an AI race earlier this week, so good to see everything is running well. But let's take a look real quickly at the schedule as we go into qualifying. This is the last leg down in the fourth block, basically where the Xfinity cars are. Now, of course, next week we'll take the Tuesday off, as we usually get that week off in between. And I know that, again, that All-Star race that's in yellow there in the middle is going to be ran somewhere. And hopefully I'll get the information here in the near future when that will be ran. But we'll come back officially on the 11th with the Gen 4 cars for Daytona for a 100-lap race. And, of course, that'll be pretty much the rest of the time will be kind of cup cars, if you will. The old-school cup cars / ARCA into the Gen 6 cars to finish it all up in April. So, all right, on to Vivid EV pole qualifying. As we look at the Vivid EV car of Joel's, he is out there on track. These guys get 2 laps. Of course, that first one will be the throwaway lap, and then they will go for the second lap. We'll see. We throw up the timing here on that second lap. I'm going to try a little experiment here, as a matter of fact, as when you see the time start to show up here on the screen, as you know, a good chance the person that runs the fastest overall speed, like fastest overall in the straightaways and stuff, pretty good chance that person's going to win the pole. So when you see the timing and scoring show up here in a second, you see those as their laps click off as they complete a first lap, you're going to be able to see their top speeds over on the right side and what they're doing down the straightaways here. So it might give us a good chance to see who could be that person that wins the pole. Might not work, might work. Let's see who else we got out here tonight. Joe Wells there. Here's the plain white car of somebody. That is the 30 who's back on track tonight. Derek Jacobs, good to see you. That Toyota Supra. I'm counting it. Is AJ Condon going to be the first to throw a lap down? Do this real quickly since we try to get the timing and scoring all of a sudden to show up here, and it doesn't want to. Right now, Shane Ward is the pole sitter. 53.79. That first lap is that throwaway lap. That's Greg Thompson. There we go. So 103 right now to or 183 out of Shane Ward. 184 down here from Kurowski. Hudson at 184. Yeah, Perry at 186 miles an hour. He must have got a wind gust or something. 187 down here to Johnson. Let's see. Anthony English to the pole. That's a newcomer. Daryl Johnson to second. Evan Perry to third. Look at the speeds up top here. As across the line, that's the 3 car of Joe Wells. He will go... I'm looking for Joe on my grid. There he is, 12. Here's the 2 car of James Hudson, who I believe is in a substitute role here tonight. I mean, somehow, Dave Shutt here, the 4th place car, 182 is this fastest speed. Other than that, look at the top speeds up here. Everybody at the top around 185, 86, and 87 miles an hour. You got Shiflett down here to 186. And usually if you see these high speeds and then you get down here into the corners, that's probably where you see that loss of speed there. And costing him that pole time. But English right now on the pole. Johnson second, Perry, Shutt, and Thompson. English, a really good super speedway racer. So look for him tonight. Travis Gilbert back tonight, qualifying 7th in the 22 car. Sam Taylor's out there. Everybody pretty much with laps in. And here comes Dusty White, who... I thought we were going to have an unsolved mystery today. Has not been here the last couple of weeks. Steve brings out the... I think he's got the Farmers Only paint scheme. Is that really what I just saw? But anyways, he's going to run out of time to get his second lap in. So Anthony English, congratulations to one of the newcomers here tonight. Going to win the pole presented by Vivid EV. So congratulations to him, Mr. English, who actually should be a pretty good threat here for the pole. Or for the win, I should say, in this race here tonight. And we'll talk about more of those newcomers, because like I said, a good portion of them I know from another series I used to race in, so I can explain a lot about them. So let's take a look at the point standings as we go into tonight, the final race of the Xfinity block here. Shane Ward leads by 7, who leads by 1. Branch by 1 over Al Likens, who leads by 7 over Josh McKinney, who leads by 21 over Scott Wise. Now, all the way down to about 7th position. Those guys are potentially in this still to win a championship. Now, Melnick probably more out because we don't have 40 people in this race. So we could probably cross him off. Greg Thompson, maybe. Scott Wise, maybe. So we're going to focus on the top 4 because with stage points and all different types of elements that can come into play tonight, those 4 could win the championship here in the Grand National leg of things. But one key I do want to point out, last week's winner, Josh McKinney, look over here in the bonus points section. This man could easily have about a 30-point lead going into tonight if you'd racked up bonus points. That could be a key factor in keeping Josh out of a championship here tonight, but there's plenty of other factors with other people in line here. So that is where we look at right now with the Grand National points. Overall, Joe Els over Travis Gilbert by 43. Shane Ward actually gained a good amount last week. He gained about 15 points. He's going to need a lot more gained as he's 219 back and on his own little island as mentioned. Scott Wise, Jason Branch, Melnick, and others there in the top 10. And this, of course, has covered all of the now about to be 16th race after tonight. 15 races complete. The 16th will be done here tonight, and we'll crown that champion overall coming up in 10 races, or 9 races, I should say, coming up at Talladega in the Gen 6 car. Let's take a look at the team points as G Lightning leads G Lightning Motorsports by 230 points. Torqued Wrench right there in third, TNT fourth. As you see, that G Lightning team has kind of fallen down to the Torqued Wrench team. This used to be a two-team battle per se, but now it's become more of a one team just kind of running away with this show. But again, anything can happen when it's all said and done in the race. And the super speedway races, as we know, can be anybody could go to victory lane when it's all said and done. I'm sure Lauren's got the meeting going on right now with all the teams. She's going through the whole kit and caboodle. Of course, I say that as everybody leaves to their channels. And I'm going to grab our pole sitter here really quickly and welcome one of the newcomers who I've actually had the pleasure of racing with plenty of times before, probably wrecked 100 times too. But anyways, Anthony English, welcome in to the series. And as I kind of said to them, I was not surprised to see you win the pole here tonight, knowing the speed you have single car-wise. Yeah, absolutely. Let me turn your microphone on there. But yeah, man, great job tonight. Obviously, so you're going to a final race tonight of a league that, obviously in this little block of 4 races. So tonight, you're trying to go in there and play spoiler, but how hard is it to balance, like, going in there and trying to win this race without getting involved with the leaders in the point standings?
Probably going to be pretty hard because I literally this is going to be my first race in my Moza R5. So.
Oh boy.
So,
oh boy.
New wheel, spent all day setting it up and everything, and did a little bit of practice with it earlier. So I'm probably just going to stay out of the way.
Well, you got the single car speed. Is that staying out of the way, meaning stay up front and like in front of everybody? Or, I mean, talk about this car with the draft.
It's not too bad. It seemed pretty decent. So, I mean, I don't think it'll be any troubles. The only thing I'm working on, like wheel-wise, is just getting my force feedback or stuff dialed in, It's a whole nother game when you go from a project back to a different wheel.
Right, absolutely. No, I know that feeling. Well, hey, good to see you here. Good to see you, Rick and Mark and whoever else you brought into the league here tonight. And look forward to calling the race with you. And best of luck tonight.
Awesome, thank you, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, absolutely, you too, buddy. Anthony English, the pole sitter here tonight. As here's the game I get to play. I get to find out what channel he's in. Let's go look for your boys here. And up there, you're down there, High Spirits. All right. So we're going to move him down to that channel. And congratulations to Anthony on winning the Vivid EV Pole Award here this evening as we go racing. Got about 5 minutes still left here. So we'll be out here on track. And let's talk to another person who went to victory lane last week. And matter of fact, a driver that actually has a chance to win this championship tonight. And that being Josh McKinney, who at the time was subbing for the driver of the 22, Travis Gilbert. But tonight, Josh, on your own here and a chance to actually win a championship here tonight, driving different cars, which very interesting way to pull that one off. But tonight you have a chance to do so. And are we excited about it? Is it one of those we just go control what we can control?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. First of all, thanks for bringing me up here. Appreciate it. Number 24 seems pretty fast. Didn't get to run as much practice or qualifying as I wanted to, but not a big deal. Looks like there's a large pack of cars tonight, so we'll see what we can do. Gonna try and hang out in the back for a little bit here, test out the water, so to say, and hopefully end up pretty much up front in the end.
Now, one thing that I noticed when I looked at the point standings that I kind of pointed out to the crowd watching here tonight is your lack of bonus points. roughly, I think it was 17 was your number, and then others 30, 40, 50 points, and here you are only about 17 back overall. How big is it for you to potentially be up there at lap 19, at lap 47 to get those stage points?
It's huge, but you also want to survive, and that's sort of the name of the game. I know some guys like Dylan and Travis and Joe and all of them, they're sort of a little bit more willing than I am to risk it for the biscuit there, so to say. But I mean, that's sort of how I ended up surviving last weekend. So we'll see.
All right, man. Well, hey, best of luck here tonight, Josh, and congrats again on the win last week.
Appreciate it. Have a nice night.
You too, bud. Josh McKinney, of course. He's got he and Shane Ward. They're going to be racing for a championship here tonight together. We'll see how that works out. It's all said and done here this evening. So a lot of good group of guys here ready to go racing. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. After we get to 18, I stop running out of time. Looks like about 28 cars or so ready to go racing here. Appreciate the crowd. If you get a chance, go get yourself a quick drink real quickly or whatever you need before we get this green flag rolling for 94 laps and 250 miles here tonight on this 2.66 mile track that was built back in the 1969 season. Of course, if you remember that first Talladega race, which if you were alive for it, if you weren't, like me, you had to read up on the history of that. And of course, the history says that a lot of drivers you probably never heard of ran in that race, and that's because drivers in the Cup Series at that time boycotted the racing. Why? Well, they felt the track was too dangerous. So basically, Bill France said, all right, well, we'll allow anybody to come race pretty much. So he brought people in from the Sportsman race and other race, and he put on a show when it was all over with. And believe it or not, that was a race that formed a team now known as Richard Childress Racing, as a young Richard Childress actually ran that race. That's how that all got started. So now you know, and knowing is half the battle. We'll turn the race cars down because I'm pretty sure they're loud. Anyways, we're going to go trackside off that stat and get you the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, grid is ready to go. As I mentioned, 94 laps. Stage is tonight going to be lap 19 and lap 47, which will be the halfway point. As we look at the starting lineup here, Anthony English once again on the pole, Daryl Johnson, and the TNT Motorsports number 93 going to start there on the outside of row number 1. Evan Perry, another good qualifying effort for him. Dave Shutt, 75 car, will start third. Greg Thompson, pole sitter from last week at the old Daytona. And Sam the Toolman Taylor starting there in the 6th position. Travis Gilbert missed last week's race, and his car still ended up in victory lane. He'll start 7th. Ryan Wilson there in the top 10. Fastest car in practice, Joel Drift, who's freezing his drift off Down in Georgia right now, Shane Ward on his outside. Al Likens, Derek Jacobs there in row number 6. Joe Wells, Tommy Rogers. Tommy, of course, winning the Daytona race earlier this season, the first one. Will start there on the outside. Scott Wise on the outside of Mark Mann, who, he's a good one. He's a good one on super speedways. Trust me, I know. Dylan Picklesimmer, AJ Condon there on the outside of row 9. Jason Branch, James Hudson. Tim Shiflett, Pete Polini. Good to see Pete in the field here tonight. And obviously hoping for nothing but the best there for Pete. Sean Dion, I believe that's how that's pronounced. Georgia driver starting next to another Georgia driver, Stephen Melnick. Let's see. Eddie Roati back in the field here tonight with Brady Karowski. Rick Seabrand's another good super speedway racer alongside Josh McKinney. And Dusty White, the 29 cars that'll start the 94 laps here tonight. Again, stage breaks, not really breaks, stage racing. So 19 and 47. Of course, we'll have that number up on the screen if it cooperates with me. So you'll be able to see how many laps are ready to go when it's all said and done. So appreciate everybody joining us as they work their way down the back straightaway. 29 cars, and we got 5 starting on pit road. Sam Taylor, Tim Shiflett, Josh McKinney, Dusty White, and, well, we're still waiting on Stephen Melnick to actually grid on pit road. So at least those 4 cars, and for Melnick, he just gridded. So we got 5 cars starting on pit road, so I wonder who's going to be running together in the draft in that pack. We'll know here in just a second. For those who do not know the tradition, every race at Talladega, Cup, Xfinity, or whatever, Sweet Home Alabama place. It's an Alabama tradition, obvious reasons. I would play it myself, but I would get in trouble. And we do not want that. But one thing we will hear playing horsepower and race cars on a Tuesday evening here at Talladega Superspeedway as pace car pulls off and into the hands of Anthony English and Darrell Johnson, with 4 guys racing potentially for a championship in the National Association for Stock Car Virtual Racing and the Masters of the Draft. We crown another champion here tonight at Talladega as we go green. Our cameras presented by TrackCams22.com. They are online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. As English off to the inside lane there, new wheel and everything. Could be very interesting because is he used to being pushed or used to, what's he used to right now with this wheel? If he just put it together today, how much practice did he get in the draft and so on and so forth? So he's going to be learning right here on the fly in that Fox Factory number 44. You see cars kind of scattering out here a little bit. And obviously one factor that can also come into play here is with these couple of newcomers here tonight. Obviously, a lot of these guys are used to being around each other, and then when you get a couple of different names in here, it can make things a little touchy here. As English leads lap 1. Pretty patient. Evan Perry down there on the bottom side. Greg Thompson on that outside lane actually has got it rolling with help from the 22 of Travis Gilbert. 93 Darrell Johnson there behind them. By 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 all the way back to about the 20th position or so. If we check the cars that left pit road, well, 3 of them got on off pit road pretty well. The other 2, well, they're going to hope for a caution basically when it's all said and done. The Shiflett, seems to be a new tradition of his. And then Sam Taylor out here on his own right now. They're going to need yellow. And then there's these 3 that won't lose nearly as much time as the others. We'll keep a track on those guys. Gilbert already going to the front. Him and Thompson side by side. You see that outside working a lot here. It's almost what you have to do to make this draft work. Bottom lane is going to be where a lot of people like to run. Ride with Ryan Wilson here in the 23 car. As English is bailing out, going to the back. As he talked about, he did not want to be in the way of people as he tries to get used to this wheel. I can't really say I relate to him on this because I've only had 2 wheels so far in my iRacing career, all 15 years of it, or 12, 13, however long it's been. I had a Momo wheel, which I had for a very long time. Matter of fact, I was in high school, I think, when I had it. And then I bought a G27 way back, probably 10 years ago almost. And the wheel lasted all the way to now. At 31, that Bud car. Scott Wise. The Dale Jr. look on his car here tonight. He's got that 31 up there roaring. That blue 75 car of Dave Shutt. And 12 of Pickelsimmer jumping up there now. Here's the 93 of Johnson. So now get the third lead roared up. Timeline hanging together, about 4 or 5 cars and 4 there in the middle as we ride with Wise now. Got 23 cars in this lead draft. Brady Karowski, however, is he might be throwing a fishing pole out here in a second to try to get the car in front of him there as he's kind of losing the draft. Rick Seabrand's back there with him in that Yeti number 224 car. There's the 04 Mark Mann. He's pulling off, coming to the back. It's kind of funny. Watch my previous Super Speedway broadcast. I always kind of give you the strategy in my head. Like, you always, oh, reckon. Gilbert turns. 04 is going to get through there, I think. As others involved in this, it looks like a man did make it through there. Drift involved. No, he's going down pit road. This is going to end up being a lot smaller of a wreck than it looked. But the 22 definitely involved in this. And I saw the 08 of Greg Thompson also involved. There's some damage on his car. Roll that beautiful beam footage as our first caution is out. Shane Ward involved, I think, also. Looks like Pete Polini might have got some damage here. As we take a look at the replay and what happened here. Greg Thompson down there on the bottom side in the lead. He and Travis Gilbert leading that pack of cars. Let's see what happens here. Oh, looks like Gilbert gets turned into Thompson. And 4 or 5 cars pile in. More than that, about 10 cars piling in. Did they wreck? Lucy, did they wreck?
Oh, I did that.
You gotta be kidding me. That's about right. Caution's out for the first time. Echo there. Johnson gets involved. Ooh, Scott Wise with damage. The 12 gets damage. Yeah, Drift goes sliding down pit road along with the 30 who backs into. Let's look at this one more time here, but I think we definitely had some echo here. What I'm seeing, let's go back to the area. Oh yeah, right there. That big neck code. I mean, you got the 23. I mean, look at the space here, because what it looks like is the 23 actually gets into the back of the 22 here now.
Ooh.
And let's see. As
What happened?
they wrecked. Maybe there wasn't. Well, this is tough to see if there was contact or not here. Oh, yeah, there was contact. Never mind. I take the whole netcode comment back.
Oh, that
There's your commentary right there. And caution out for the first time there at lap number 7. And a lot of cars coming to pit road to get damage fixed, from Thompson to Gilbert to Drift to Scott Wise, Eddie Ronnie, Sam Taylor. So Evan Berry going to be the leader here, but yeah, it looks like in the end there, Wilson might have gotten the back. Let's go to the blimp. Yeah, the first I said netcode, but then I think I was a little off. Let me get a better view here from the blimp. Yeah, there was contact, it looks like there, so. One more look, and we'll throw a couple on board. I take back my netcode comment. On board. Let's see, that's in the pack. Shane Ward, your view. He might have been better off just turning left and going to pit road after a little bit of contact there, but unfortunately he tries to stay on the track to keep from a penalty. All right. More view here. Let's go Scott Wise, 31 car. Launching out for the first time here is lap 9 about to be complete. We'll have 10 laps to go. Pretty much everybody fifth on down came to pit road. A lot of them getting damage fixed or using a reset, trying to save that reset as much as they can. This is one of those times where if you got enough damage you can repair, like very small damage you can repair. Take the lump. If you're a few miles an hour slower, it's okay for a little bit. Stay on the lead lap, get to about 20 laps to go, and then use that reset so you can be with a chance to win later on instead of using the reset now. And then all of a sudden, come 5 laps from now or so, you might get involved in another wreck and your night's over with. So, got to be very smart with how you make your decisions on the old resets as we come to the start-finish line here. As we got more cars coming to pit road here. Is the green flag's going to come out? Nope, never mind, it's been waved off. That would explain why cars came to pit road to top it off. So I have found out, by the way, there is not the All-Star race next week. It will be sometime down the road here. They'll make the announcement in the old Discord for the Masters of the Draft Series. So next week we will be off, and then we'll come back in 2 weeks from Daytona again and kick off the Gen 4 cars. Arguably one of the best cars to race with on a super speedway. We can debate that between that and I could almost say the super late model is a fun one to race on a super speedway. Matter of fact, that All-Star race likely in a super late model car. Race car lights are off. Harry Wilson, his teammate there, Tommy Rogers in third. Dave Shutt, James Hudson, your top five. Dylan Picklesimmer, Pete Bellini, Shane Ward, Sean Dion, and Dusty White going to be your top 10. Of course, as usual, that caution helping out those who started on pit road, all but Tim Shiflett, who actually is a lap down. Shiflett will likely get the lucky dog next caution to get him back on the lead lap. And you see all that single file line back there. That is all the cars that came to pit road at 1 to go, and basically it's like a penalty per se. Oh, lane switch. Uh-oh. I don't think you're allowed to do that. As Perry grabs the cars behind him. As far as I know, there's always been a rule around this series is you start in a lane that you are in until you cross that start-finish line. So we'll see if that's still in the rule book. Evan Perry leading this race, Ryan Wilson and others. Here comes the 47. That is actually Pete Bellini in the 51 car. Gonna get out here and lead some laps. Jason Branch in that outside lane. Of course, Branch, winner at iRacing Superspeedway. Obviously, still probably has it in his mind. He should have won that Daytona race earlier this season with the controversial finish. But he has a chance to win a championship here this season. AJ Condon there behind him. There's that 24. That white, black, and red Vetta track car of Josh McKinney, the winner from last week. Here comes Al Likens now topside. Another championship driver. As he will cross the line, Likens leads lap 12. Whoa! 5 up into the 12 in a big wreck. Scott Wise involved, the 11 of Dusty White and others. Jason Branch involved. Let's see what happened here. I'm not sure if the 5 lost a nose or something there, but he was definitely a little higher up. Unfortunately, got into the high lane and into a couple cars. Damage. At least 8 or 9 cars involved in this one. But just simply, it looks. I'm gonna try to get this from a different view here. Let's go rear chase. Let's watch here. So you see Branch is getting pushed. I'm not sure what was going on there. That's just kind of interesting to see. It almost looks like to a point you see the 5 maybe trying to go in the middle there between the 2 cars. or maybe just trying to see what's up ahead, or I'm not sure. It's just look kind of odd. Cars involved in that one. Let's take a look from your pole sitter and see what he's seen in this. English doing a great job of checking up and slowing it up there. It's a 12 of Pickle Simmer gets damage in there. Yeah, maybe that's another. Yeah, that could have been it. As I think about it, good point there, Mr. Star Bliss. Cars, maybe he was getting warm and was trying to find air. That could be a potential. I mean, that's actually not a bad thought. They exactly could be. Maybe. Huh. I mean, that might be exactly what it was. He was trying to get air to his car. He might be getting hot. Well, that's why I ask questions sometimes. You know, sometimes the viewers have answers for me. Because I might not be thinking that at the moment. If oh yeah, the cars overheat, don't they? All right, caution out here for the second time. Let's to each driver. Let's talk to our leader, or was our leader. He was up front there. Al, you get a copy, bud?
Give the middle lane plenty of room.
Mr. Al, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
Figured I'd interrupt the conversation. That's what I do best. But hey, man, you're running up here in the towards the front. You were at least, and obviously coming up towards the end of this stage here. Pit strategies and stuff coming into play. 5 laps to go. How important is these points coming up here at about 4 laps for you to get?
Very important. That's my goal, is try to stay up front and give it my best.
Been seeing some moves getting up to that 3rd lane. How's it feeling up there? Do you need 2, 3, 4 cars to make that line work, or is that one that you might be able to use later on?
Me and Dylan made it work with 2, so it rolled pretty good. It felt really good at this point of the race, but that could change further we get into it.
Well, right now you're the leader, and I see you got the bottom side. You got Shane there on your inside. Is that bottom, like keeping right down to the bottom, is that the way to go here, you think, to win this stage?
Honestly, I don't know yet.
Just be the first one to the line, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, best of luck, bud.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely. Al Likens, the leader here tonight in this race there on the inside lane. Now, I of course, what channel were you in?
TNT.
Thank you. I'm so terrible at this. As we move him to his channel. So Likens is there on the inside lane. Pete Polini on the outside. Shane Ward there in 3rd. Stephen Melnick up there on the top side in the 4th position. And then Dave Shutt there, inside lane there. And then Tommy Rogers, the 34 car. Appreciate the viewers hanging out here tonight. Feel free to share the stream out to your friends and family. I mean, if you have to use a sympathy card, it's a sympathy card out there. Just tell them, hey, this guy's like on the air for 9 more races, and that's it. Come listen to his weird voice or something. I don't know. All right, coming to the green. Can they get back to the start-finish line and complete the stage? Al Likens looking to score some big points here On the championship side for the Grand National car, Shane Ward right there behind him. Stephen Melnick right there behind him. Melnick needs the points desperately if he even wants to come close to a chance. Bellini getting a little bit of a push there from Melnick. Melnick in that Kakamura HR management car. Yep, that same Kakamura who is from Moana. A little coconut thing. I don't know if they're actually named anything but coconuts. Asked a family member, hey, what's this company? And he said Kakamura, and he went with it. So there you go. As Thompson pulls out wide, but really doesn't have much help close to him. McKinney's up there with him. Drift's going to go up there with him. 2 to go in the stage. Here comes an outside lane now. Joe Wells looking for somewhere to go. It'll be one of the first championships that Joe's not really been in contention for to win on the block side. Of course, he hasn't had really the best of luck either in this Xfinity car. As these guys 3 by 3, 6 rows deep. Oh, they were 4 wide back there in the back for a little bit. Oh, I saw Melnick move up the track a little bit there. It got close. As across the line, Thompson leads. And there goes Thompson. There go the leaders. And that's going to end the stage. And Stephen Melnick. Let's see if it shows it. Probably wait till he crosses the start-finish line, I would think here. That's exactly what's going to happen here. But Stephen Melnick's going to win stage 1, it looks like. And a big stage win for him. Show the point standings in this Grand National Championship. Look where Melnick was. Down here, 45 points back. I mean, yes, 29 cars, and the way the points shape up, he is still in this. I mean, I didn't think he was, but he is in this still. And a big 10 points right there. Stephen Melnick wins stage 1 from Greg Thompson. Josh McKinney going to be second as this all line up here. Everything officially flowing through as Thompson's in that wreck. There's your top 10. And they're still switching around here as people cross the start-finish line. So Melnick, McKinney, another driver trying to win a championship. Drift there, third, Scott Wise, Shane Ward, Derek Jacobs, Travis Gilbert, AJ Condon, Joe Wells, Brady Karowski, it looks like. You know, it's got Eddie Roddy here in 10th, so I'm not sure. I mean, to be determined how all this goes, but we do know at least the top 4, 5, 6. There's 7. There's 8. There's 9. So it's either going to, it looks like Eddie Roddy actually is going to be the 10th car. We'll have to see how that goes from there. But there you go. Stage 1 in the books. Officially. And Stephen Melnick is the Wise Guy Racing Graphics stage winner here tonight. For stage 1. And our third caution out as the leaders will come to pit road here. Should be, I would think, 4 tires and fuel for a lot of these cars. We'll have to see. Scott Wise actually staying out here. Melnick will win the race off pit road. Ward will be second, Derek Jacobs. let's talk to this guy who started on pit road, by the way, in this race, and won stage 1. Shows me that you can win stages any type of way in this series. And here is the XTI team. Get Melnick here. Steven, you got a copy, bud?
I got you, man.
Hi, man. Well, way to start on pit road in this race and then find a way to win stage 1 officially here. A stage that you probably pretty much needed to have even a chance to win this championship here tonight on the Xfinity side. And here's 10 big points for you.
Yeah, it just kind of fell in my lap. I wasn't planning to stay on pit road, and iRacing froze on me and like booted me out of this out. So ended up staying on pit road after I got back into iRacing and got the yellow, got cut back out of the field, and then my plan was to push my teammate Pete out to the front, and then we got I think it was the 08, got on the wild side and come across the track and took him out and just fell in my lap.
So did you, by chance, with the Kakamora paint scheme, I think this fits, did you blow dart somebody in the butt cheek?
Yes, I did. A tire on the 08 was definitely like a blow dart.
Blow dart.
To it.
Right at
Yep,
it.
blow
Yes.
dart.
That's a Moana joke for those who've never seen the movie. Great job tonight, man, so far. And you got another stage here coming up in about 20 laps or so.
Yeah, we're going to need to get like good points on that one too. So.
All right, buddy. Be safe.
All right. Thank you.
And stay warm, by the way.
Yeah, I will.
Stephen Melnick, who, by the way, I believe has, because well, you're from Connecticut, right, originally?
From Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. So he knows what it's like to be cold weather, even though he's living in Georgia right now. So good luck to him, obviously. He probably teaching some neighbors around him right now what it's like to have a jacket or I should say a thermal jacket or something like that. All right, Scott Wise stays out. Hit at the last caution at lap 13. Melnick second. Shane Ward, Tommy Rogers, Derek Jacobs, your top 5. Gilbert, Wells, Johnson, Condon, and Drift going to be your top 10. And obviously, they will not need to pit likely to the end of stage 2. Pete Pelini, Ryan Wilson, Evan Perry, Jason Branch, Greg Thompson. Thompson actually off the track unofficially. Branch is 2 laps down, so is Evan Perry, Ryan Wilson, Pete Pelini all lapped down. They were all involved in that accident and obviously have used the reset and everything, so obviously explains Thompson's frustration in chat. Totally understandable. As we come to the green at lap 23. Into the restart zone there, and Wise with a pretty good launch, maybe even too good of a launch. Wise, not sure if he trail brake there or he just got that good of a run there, but Melnick obviously not able to get up to speed as he's got Jacobs on his outside lane. As already seeing 3 wide, 1 car going to the back, probably a good idea. 12 car top side of Pickle Simmer with the 9 of Sam the Toolman Taylor. I don't know if I'm allowed to use that because I really haven't asked him. I just threw it off the name. Of course, the $1 million question there, is Sam even old enough to know what the show Home Improvement was? Rogers down there in the bottom. Travis Gilbert, AJ Condon there, and there's McKinney. A lot of the G Lightning cars kind of lining up down there in that bottom groove. And there's Melnick up the middle with help from the 30 car. A couple cars in a single file line back towards the back, just kind of hanging out a little bit. From the bottom right now, but here comes those G Lightning teammates of Gilbert and Wells, and picks up Shane Ward, and they're going to go push into the front. Oh, big checkup right there. All over the place. Car who was just involved in a wreck a few minutes ago. Went to the garage, pulled the backup car out, and he's on the track now. And he's to the lead there for a split second with Taylor pushing, but now Ward back out front with Gilbert pushing and Scott Wise there too. Still trying to get into the rhythm, but they haven't had too many green flag laps consecutively to get into a rhythm, so I know these guys are probably working hard to try to get that going for them. Ryan with drift here in the 17th position behind James Hudson there in that 2 car. Eddie Roddy in the 33 in front of them in 15th. Juking and jiving going on. Mr. Clark, I appreciate the comments. One thing, at this point in the race, with the 3 cautions we've had already, I see this, I'm going as far back, I'm almost going to Birmingham to hide. That's just me though as the driver. Me as the broadcaster, hey, this is cool. Key City Hobby number 5 car, AJ Condon trying to get the lead here. Of course, the Xfinity block of racing here, presented by Key City Hobby. Big shout out to AJ and Key City for putting their name on the series. Of course, this is the Masters of the Draft Series, presented by Vet to Track as they help out veterans get on the racetrack a la motorcycles. Big shout out to Vet to Track for doing what they do for the veterans. And of course, as always, a salute for those who continue to fight for our country. Those who will be fighting for our country in the future, and those who have in the past. We say thank you. There's Wells there in the middle lane getting pushed by Condon. Joe fresh off of a trip to the 24 Hours of Daytona last weekend. A lot of people probably going to say the highlight of that weekend was obviously the great 24-hour race. And I'm not a fan of wrecks, but the highlight for me was that MX-5 wreck. Getting at the second race. Oh, big big chunk of the green flag. Somebody didn't go, obviously. Turned bad. Oh, up the track goes the 25. That almost got bad. Al Likens and Daryl Johnson there, I thought they were going to go sideways how far up the track they were, but they ended up okay. Dusty White and the... Alright, I got to confirm this. I saw him qualifying, and then the screen went to race, so I didn't get to see the paint scheme. Is this what I think it really is? It sure is. FarmersOnly.com. Apparently he's lonely. Just gonna throw this out there if you want to. Well, yeah, it is probably a joke. Unless they wrote the Farmers Only thing or whatever, and there's actually some kind of joke in there. Oh, car's getting sideways. I could just see somebody being like, "I'm single baby" or something on iRacing. I'm like, this might not be the platform to do that in. Oh, Melnick can turn sideways there. Eric Jacobs is down there in the Kyle Busch lane. Those who don't remember the truck qualifying a few years back at Talladega, where Kyle Busch actually tried to qualify the whole entire lap on the apron. Oh, and there goes the 93 around. Joe Wells involved. Somebody went flying through there. Saw the 93 get turned off the nose of Joe Wells, and a caution comes out for the fourth time. The 93 left some room for the 3, filled the gap, and unfortunately that gap shut. Add the 24 to the list, the 9. Joe sees the groove and going forward, and unfortunately they come together. 5 of Condon to the list, of 2 involved, Hudson. The only thing missing is thought of right before the wreck happened, just in my head. Can you imagine if you get those like 18 to 25-year-olds or whatever that are on here racing, and then you get the older people on here that might not have any kind of relationship with anybody, and they come up with an iRacersOnly.com. How terrible would that be? Oh my gosh, I don't even want to go any further than that. All right, leaders to pit road. And it looks like fuel only for a lot of cars. Al Liken going to be the winner off pit road. Pickle Simmer, Wise, English. Maybe not. English is still in the pits. Gilbert, White, Ward. For those just checking in, saying hello, show you the schedule again for the series next week. We are off as we do our transition period from the Xfinity car over to the Gen 4 car. We'll start at Daytona for 250 miles on February 11th. And the 18th, it's Monza again. Oh boy. And from there, the 07 Daytona track to Talladega. And that'll end the season there on March 4th. And then after a week off, we'll come back on the 18th and kick off the Gen 6 Series to finish it all out. Daytona, iRacing Superspeedway, 250 miles in Atlanta, and then a 500-miler at Talladega to finish out the whole season and crown the overall master of the draft. And a shout out to all the sponsors who are a part of the series. As I mentioned earlier, the Vet to Track, of course, Vivid EV, Wise Guy iRacing Graphics. We'll talk about the Hard Charger Award later on. That's presented by Superior Templating. And the overall Xfinity block of racing here, presented by Key City Hobbies, I should say. Make sure I plural that word. Key City Hobby. I'm making it singular. I'm gonna get the right English here. English. Stephen Melnick won the first stage. Question is, can he come back and win stage number 2, which would get him a chance to win this championship? Of course, with all the action that has happened here in these first 35 laps, this championship's kind of wide open right now. Unfortunately, for Jason Branch right now, 2 laps down, he's going to need some help to get back in this running, depending on how much damage that 28 car has. And Pace Car Line's back on, so we'll get one more lap here before we get the green flag. Ugly Boy Kaiser, I see you're here tonight. Ray Lane, appreciate you guys watching. Got Clark, got Thompson, got Drift. Appreciate all the viewers hanging out here tonight. Again, feel free to share the stream out if you'd like. Start of the NASCAR season kicking off this week at the Clash at the old Bowman Gray Stadium. Instead of the NASCAR teams having to drive 3 days for half of them, or at least a portion of them, not I guess a quarter of them technically, not to make the race and drive all the way back from California and waste that money. At least now they only have to drive like an hour up the road for them not to make the race. mark here in 2 laps in this 250-mile race. And these two leaders have been leaning on each other. Coming to the green here. Thank gosh netcode's really, I think, been wound down a little bit there. Could have been bad. It's a good restart for Shutt as he goes. Laps to go into stage. Already seen some 2 and 3 wide. Taylor moving to the top. Trying to bring Dusty White in the 11 car. We can just see these cars just are able to suck up to each other the way the Xfinity car runs. Of course, remember back in Daytona, they were kind of getting loose in the corners. Here they look fairly stable outside the wind blowing the car around. They're going to put themselves in position here. Travis Gilbert to the lead. The driver that's won the most races overall this season, that 22 car. As the 54, Tim Shiflett aborts ship, and he's going to the back. Getting back on the lead lap. New cars back here. As a matter of fact, there's Mark Mann. There's Rick Seabrands, a couple of newcomers I was talking about earlier from a series that I know pretty well. He and Seabrands, Mann, and Anthony English, all great drivers on these super speedway tracks. They're just going to hang back. And I started to tell the story earlier before the wreck. I kind of always told you guys on a super speedway race, you want to be the first to pit last, because it seems like it always works strategy-wise. I'm going to go ahead and give Mark Mann the credit for that, because he's the one I actually first noticed it from, and I was like, man, that's actually the way to go in super speedways, and I took it from him and learned it. Oh, couple contact up there at top. So it's kind of a coincidence and ironic to see Mark here in this race. Go. If you're in it, you can win it. And two of the new Lightning cars right up here in the front with Ward and Travis Gilbert. You've got the 39 is the actual points leader going into this race. So stage one here would pretty much turn it into a 4-car race for the championship of this Grand National or Xfinity Series season. Moving down to the middle groove. Going to pick up Ward himself. There's Melnick right there in the middle of this. Ooh, he gets a little, that car was sideways. these guys go 6 laps and get back to the end here. Everybody pretty much right here in the draft. Form up to get that momentum going, the energy going. If you look back here, I was to say what's the final for a second, and now you're starting to see them kind of double up here a little bit, but they're starting to tail off a little bit from this lead group. Easy, boys. Got maybe side drafting a little bit off of that 12 car. Oop, little door bang in there between the 9 and the 39. Second pack is caught back up as these guys try to turn up the wicker and get up there into this pack. You see Joe Wells trying to push somebody up there ahead of him. You can see that far back of that car. I think that might be maybe it's Hudson. There's Hudson there. Yeah, it was Hudson he was pushing. Or it might have been Ryan Wilson there in that 23 car. There's Scott Wise right here. He's pushing. The 9 of Taylor. Here is when you go 3 wide and this many rows deep, you're behind this, you've got nowhere to go now, and just hope for the best. I guess you could try a 4th lane, but ahead on that inside lane with the help from that 75 carved shut. 24 McKinney right there with him. 33 has joined in, a Rowaldi there in that white and red and black car. White flag in the stage. For some of these drivers, this is about to be the biggest stage of this block. Question is, how much effort do you put in to try to win this thing? Ooh. White's up into the outside wall. It's going to slow up the outside lane a little bit. So here they come to the start-finish line. Going to be close. Ooh, that's close. It says Gilbert. Gilbert over Pickle Simmer, Sam Taylor, Shane Ward, David Shutt, your top 5 unofficially here. Very impressive. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Travis Gilbert, congratulations on the stage win. presented by Wise Guy iRacing Graphics. Travis Gilbert for the timing and scoring, the winner of stage 2. There's no breaks. We keep going. Halfway officially complete. Don't know if we're halfway started or halfway finished, but we're there. And I'm actually going to step back and let you guys enjoy the sounds here for a minute. Turn it up. Laps complete. Racing still pretty intense out there. One person you did not see up there running for the stage win, Al Likens, which kind of shocked me a little bit. He's up there in that battle for the points championship. Of course, with Shane Ward getting stage points there, it opens it up a little bit. Melnick got the 1 point there, so he's going to need a little bit of a miracle here for him to stay in this championship run. Josh McKinney, last week's winner for the 07 Daytona track. Of course, his car he drove was the one that's behind him pushing now. Goes to the lead, that 24 car. Went to victory lane, and Joe Wells decided to throw him a car together and say, hey, you come out here and race Talladega now, too. That showed the fact that he was actually in the running for the championship here in this block. Of course, overall championship, which is also being crowned. There's 2 cars in the running for that. A little door banging almost between Joe and, Travis Gilbert, Pickle Simmer there. caution. It's causing these cars to get sideways here and there. Should mention Anthony English has lost the draft here a little bit, so obviously seeing some bugs potentially in that new wheel and setup and stuff here tonight. As he has fallen back, he's going to need help with a caution here before this thing is over with. They come up on Evan Perry to put him another lap down. 2 cars off the track officially. Greg Thompson, Pete Polini. Otherwise, everybody else still on the track. Joe Wells just had a blinking episode or something. He just came back. He's in the middle of the pack still. I know they just kind of did and coming to pit road comes McKinney here, all by his lonesome. She's starting to say the officials here with the National Association for Stock Car Virtual Racing, aka Lauren, has put out a little bit of a referendum of the rules when it comes to blinking and stuff. Pretty much stating that they're going to get a warning or whatever and have a couple laps to fix it. And they're pretty much going to be told to get off the track. Hopefully Joe's able to get that deal fixed. Rocking and rolling here. McKinney comes to pit road. Let's see who else is going to come this time by. Dave Schutt's all by himself. Apparently the message hasn't been passed on. If you're going to pit, you need somebody with you. Pickleton or Gilbert, Rawadi, Brian Wilson. By far the longest green flag run we've had so far tonight. Appreciate the viewers hanging out here in chat tonight. We've enjoyed the broadcast and enjoyed the race. As we're 58 laps in. There's 36 laps to go. Tonight, the final race of the Xfinity car. We will switch over Gen 4 racing starting in 2 weeks at Daytona as they pass Josh McKinney, who just pitted. They squeezed through 4 wide. Taylor, I don't think there was room there for a newspaper or anything. This is the one downfall of having to pit by yourself. You got a pack of cars that are a good 4 seconds faster than running by yourself. So here they'll come up on the car of Dave Schutt there in that 75 car now. position. This is where it gets tricky, because if you're trying to get a lap back, you got to find a way to be the first car lap down and not get involved in a big wreck. Getting turned a little sideways there. You can see everybody pushing. When you get these cars pushing into corners, that's where normally you have your issues. The language that is. Ooh, Taylor went to move down. Not sure if that was a... Get something here real quick. Yeah, that was the team move. Okay, yeah, they're in the same channel. I was going to say, did Likens just block Taylor, but no, they're on the same team. So, yeah, that was definitely a planned move, it looks like, for those guys from the TNT team. 30 car of Jacobs there behind them. That plain white car. Check back here. Single file lane. Led by Joe Wells in that 3 car, that 99. That's a newcomer here tonight. Sean Dion in that blue and red and white car. And the 04 car, Mark Mann there behind him with Drift and Rick Seabrands and Tim Shiflett. Also hanging out in this pack, Anthony English, unfortunately, has lost the draft. Matter of fact, he's about to be swallowed up here in a moment. There's the field coming his way. Worse than a feeling. Looking out the back of your window and seeing this. Up. Unless they wreck, then it's okay to be seeing it. There they go, wrecking. Dusty White's involved. And that right there worked out perfect for Mr. English. And there's a T-bone steak for, looks like Seabrand's getting into the 11. Not a good yellow to have a yellow car, or a good wreck to have a yellow car. Let's see the replay here. It happened right there in the middle with the 11. Three wide all by himself, it looks like there. And there's the contact. Scott Wise. Ryan Wilson gets damage. And it's 27 of Karowski. All fun and games until a hood goes flipping out. Dusty got some help here. Just lost the car on his own there. Literally 3 wide all by himself. The 75 got damage in it. Oh, and there's Seabrands, unfortunately, with some damage. I did not see the 24 involved, so I'm thinking he will be the lucky dog as the leaders will come to pit road here. And this should get them to the finish. It's going to be close. Looks like Drift winning the race off pit road. Likens, Taylor, Pickle, Simmer, Ward, and Gilbert. And I'm going to take a quick moment here, and I'm going to splash off some water real quick and come back and get you back to the racing here. So I'll be right back in 2 seconds. Drift comes to pit road and tops are off, and this is where we sit right now as we come to the green flag with 67 laps complete. Which, if I do the quick math there, that leaves us 27 laps to go. Should be able to make it on fuel from here. Matter of fact, really quickly, let's show you the point standings as we enter tonight's race, so you can kind of see and see what kind of math I can do here real quickly. So Branch, unfortunately, he is 2 laps down, still in 26. So without a miracle from him and not any stage points, I think, at all, you know, his chances likely are out. McKinney is still in it. Likens obviously is still in it. Shane Ward up there in the front right now. So it looks like it's roughly a 3-horse race, but it's not too late. If Branch finds a way to, if he's not used that reset already, maybe he finally uses it and get these couple laps back, he could get himself back up in there. Melnick with 11 points. But likely too far back now with the cars out of the race and stuff. So looks like it's a 3-horse race for the championship as of right now. But as we know, in 27 laps, anything can happen. Not to mention overtime could be a factor and all. Either way, here we go back to green with Likens, Taylor, Pickle, Simmer, Ward, and Gilbert, your top 5. And bet the track, Masters of the Draft Series. Xfinity block presented by Key City Hobby. Coming off our longest green flag run of this race just now. Can these guys stay in that rhythm, or we see a little bit of a breakout here again? As that 9 car going back to where he's been pretty much most of the race, right at that top groove. As here comes the Lightning crew. Shane Ward getting pushed from Joe Wells. Was getting pushed by Pickle Simmer. He jumps up to the top side and 3 wide across the line. Ward leads. Jacobs down on the apron there. Good job by everybody to check up. All of a sudden, Dusty White's already back up to 11th with that car. Can put themselves in the right position. Because one thing we have seen tonight is rewind is no problem for these guys. They go, and around goes a 30 all of a sudden. Literally, don't hit the inside. He just did about a 1080 and didn't hit anything. You do not do that at Talladega often, especially in the corner. Great job by the field and everyone to miss him. Let's watch this again. This was impressive. Spin in the middle corner of Talladega. Something is hitting you, either the wall or another car. Gets up here, no, and gets in a, no, it gets him a little bit. Watch this though. There's a 360. There's a 720, and that up there's a 1080. So. Jacobs will maybe a little bit of left front damage fix, 4 tires and some under britches, and he'll be fine. Watch this one again. A bit of a lane change here. Goes from the bottom to the middle and then up about the 3rd lane. So now, when I think you're really going to see people come to pit road and make sure their fuel is filled. This should set them up for overtime without a problem now. Let's talk to another driver in contention here. That being the guy that's leading this race and the leader of the points right now. Shane Ward, you get a copy? Let's try this one again. Shane, you get a copy?
Yes, I do. Hey, what's up?
There we go. Hey, man. Obviously, a tough race so far, but you've been up there leading laps. Got some good stage points there in that second stage. Got teammates back there helping you. What needs to be done here in these last 23 laps to preserve this championship and keep it all in the G Lightning family?
Right now, I'm hopeful that Travis is going to be able to push me from behind, get me to the end. Right now, I'm worried about my fuel, with fuel saving till the end, unless there's a couple more cautions. But hopefully, I got Travis behind me, so that's good.
How tight is it?
Pardon me?
How tight is it?
Couple laps.
Ooh, all right. Well,
Being the leader, it's going faster.
yeah, that's not a good thing. And, well, obviously the cautions are going to help, and I'm sure the word overtime is not in your vocabulary right now.
I'm not hoping for overtime because I don't have enough for that.
Well, best of luck, bud.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Shane Ward, the leader, the points leader, and a guy who is hoping his fuel lasts for 23 more laps, and he's hoping not for 24. And sounds like his teammate there, Gilbert, who just listening to him and the interviews I've done with him and the times I've talked to him is all about helping this team out. And I'm pretty sure he is not leaving the back bumper of that 39 the rest of this race. Yeah, Pickle Simmer back here, Taylor, and then now Likens. But as we know, anything can and will happen at Talladega. If you don't believe me, look at the finishes in the history of Talladega. You go back to 1993, where Earnhardt outruns Ernie Irvan by, what was it, 5/1000ths, I think. You go back to Jimmy Spencer winning in 1994. How about the Carl Edwards, Brad Keselowski yeet and fence move? Or how about where David Gilliland pushed David Reagan to a win, the first ever front row motorsports win in a 1-2 finish? Or how about, here's a good one for you, 1971, when Ron Bouchard made a 3-wide pass on Darrell Waltrip and Terry Labonte, 1981, not 71, to win at Talladega. Anything can and will happen at this track. Or this one just popped in my head. Oh, how about when the Pace car was stolen back in 1976? You don't believe me? Look it up on YouTube. All right, coming to the green. 21 laps to go this time by. If you're Ward here, you consider letting Gilbert in front of you and trying to draft off him. It's a good restart here. 12 going right to block the 22, keeping them back to try to get the 39, trying to separate them. Dusty White with an aggressive move to the top as Gilbert pulls out in front of Shane Ward. Here's the problem. Shane's going to have to get to the boat. Around goes the 2. Dion with them. Ooh, that's the 72 getting into Sean Dion. And right back under yellow. What went wrong here? Normally, a wreck like this, you say it's either a 3-wide move or ball draft gone wrong. Add drift to the list of damaged. Was coming up the middle there, it looks like. 1 and 2 hit each other there. 54 kicks them back up, and a little bit of net code there into the 2 car. Well, nice miss by Condon. It's the laps are ticking off. appreciate the viewers who have come out to hang out again this evening. Of course, after tonight, I have 8 broadcasts, actually 9 officially left before we call it quits. And again, as I always do in these last streams, I want to say thank you to all the viewers for allowing me to be a part of their entertainment multiple times a week whenever I was on. And it's always been a lot of fun. And to be honest, you guys are the ones that made it fun for me. I remember when I first was on, just helping out a friend of mine who is a streamer. I went on and just kind of called the race for him and stuff, and I was like, all right, I guess I could do this. I mean, I've had history of doing this stuff because I was in radio for years. I was like, all right, I can do this in front of a computer. And here we are, years later. 5 years of doing this pretty much full time with once COVID and everything was here, and I came back on iRacing. So, with a big shout out and thank you to everybody for being a part of it. But as always, we're going to enjoy these last few weeks. Give one to go this time by as everybody racks them back up. Really nobody in need of pit stops anymore. Your bet is pretty much made right now for those who are going to try to make it on fuel and those who have come in and topped off. And what I see here pit time or pit lap wise, looks like the front 11 cars did not pit at that last caution. Josh McKinney, the first one at 71. And Derek Jacobs opposite at 65. Then Melnick, Mark Mann, Daryl Johnson, Anthony English. A lot of those cars on back all the way at lap 71. Tim Shiflett, James Hudson. Part of that's damage from that wreck. Coming in at 75. So, tires, not going to make a difference. But making sure that fuel tank is there at the end is going to make a difference. Again, off next week, and we'll return on the 11th of February from Daytona in the Gen 4 car, in the ARCA car. Hey, I appreciate it, Hooper Ty. I bet I could speak for you that says probably happy it's like 40 degrees here, right? Not worried about that 0 degree crap. As we come back to the green at 17 to go. Still got parts of my body defrosting from the airport. Taylor, Tommy Rogers, the Daytona winner. Oh, gets a bump from Scott Wise. That almost got ugly. As Gilbert going to take Ward back to the outside, and uh-oh, stuck in the middle with you, Sam Taylor. The only problem with that 40-degree weather we got here now is the wind blowing 40 miles an hour, so it feels like it's 0 again. as Tommy Rogers looking to sandwich 2 wins. Scott Wise, Dusty White now, Ryan Wilson. There's Joe Wells starting to come into the picture. Middle lane coming to life with Picklesimmer pushing St. Taylor. Al Likens in this battle. And one thing we got to pay attention to, if that 25 wins this race. Oh, 34 gets knocked to the apron and saves it. But if the 25 wins this race, then the 39 of Shane Ward needs to pretty much be up front. Else it could be Likens going to the championship. Oh, here we go. It's picking up now. Popcorn in hand, drink in hand. Other items in your hand potentially. I know I'm not trying to be weird. $14 to go. And Melnick down there in the bottom now. This is about 18 cars in the lead pack. All 3 wide. Rogers just needs to try to keep that car on that yellow line. Do not react to the car behind. Very easy to do when you're trying to push. If you're being pushed by somebody, it's so easy to look in the mirror at him and watch where he's going and try to drive your car when it's actually you. You need to keep your car still and let the guy pushing push it. Again, very easy for the other driver to do if you're not experienced at it. Oh, 12 gets up in 2. They saved it. 12 got into the 22 there, it looked like. '26th place, Jason Branch just ran the fastest lap of the race. His car's fixed. And oh, by the way, he's only a lap down now, so a chance to get back on the lucky dog, and Branch could be back in this race. There he is back there in that Navy car. Way over here. Sun's starting to get in the eyes of some of these drivers who are 3 and 4, starting to see the shade here on the front straightaway. What's going to happen? McKinney jumping up there. Here comes the 04 Mark Mann in his debut in this series. This is that time. If you're in it, go get it. Taylor out front there in that middle lane. One thing I am catching is that, again, I brought it up a few minutes ago. Tommy Rogers at 34 needs to get down on that yellow line and stay on it. I notice he keeps drifting up to that 9 car. I think it's pulling him back. A push from the 39 on the 22. But watch when the 34 goes to the corner here. You're going to notice he goes up about a half a groove here. It might be from the pushes. It might be his turning. Who knows? Nine laps to go. It was a 7-point separation between Likens and Ward entering this race. Shane Ward scoring 6 points in stage 2. And then scored 5. Make that 7 and 6, so 13 points in the 2 stages. Now Likens, on the other hand, did not score a single. Oh, and there's the wreck. And there's Shane Ward involved. Mark Mann. Al Likens might be involved. I do not see damage on the 25. But the 39 with damage. And the question now, does he have a reset to use? Where this started. Literally doing math on my other screen. Oh, the 9 hooks to 31 right in front of Gilbert and everybody. That was pretty big. Was that a tire that just flew across the screen? Do we have another Monza here? Here in just a second. There we go. Let's look for one of my. There we go. Do it. Alright, that was a hood. Okay, there's a hood going bananas. I think it might be Scott Wise's hood. And 12 not really pushing the 9 there. He gets into him, turns him left, and then back into him again. I mean, hood back here is just going bonkers. I could use the comment of iRacing can fix that, but it is kind of hilarious seeing that. One more time here. A couple more shots. Look out. debris. All right, let's go on board with Shane Ward here. Right in the middle of this, so he got damage. Yep, there's right front damage on him. Branch trying to get the lucky dog. Let's see how it worked out for him. Did Drift get damage? Matter of fact, I can tell you right now that Branch got the lucky dog here. He is back on the lead lap, and this is his view. Oh, that almost got bad. So all of a sudden, Jason Branch is back in this championship picture now. So I was just doing the math real quickly here, and while we're looking at this, so Shane Ward got finished 4th in stage 2 and 5th in stage 1. So that would be 6 and 7, 13 points there. And I do not see Al's name at all on here, nor do I see Jason Branch. So as I show the points here, obviously the stage points are not going to be included in this. So Shane Ward likely has a 20-point advantage over Jason Branch now. And it would be 21 over Al Likens. So McKinney obviously would be 28 back. So there's going to be some help needed for these guys to get to Shane, depending on what I'm seeing here. And Hudson Maradi behind the wall now. And as for Shane Ward, he is 13th right now. Josh McKinney is 5th. Al Liken 19th right now. So a lot of fit is about to hit the sham. As Taylor leads them to the green. Pickle Simmer, Tommy Rogers, top 3, single file up top now. And that opens the door for McKinney and that, I can't talk. Tommy Rogers to the bottom. Everybody 2 by 2 as they try to work their way back together as a pack here. Look at that 44 at the bottom. Remember I said earlier that 44 had some pretty good drafting skills. He must have got that wheel figured out, because there he is, third car inside lane. He's got Seabrands pushing him on the bottom. Anthony English, the pole sitter. And just kind of hanging out and learning his new stuff. Three laps to go. 39 car, fourth car in the outside lane up top there. That is Shane Ward. McKinney down here, second car inside lane. Just watching literally as these guys push each other. Remember, they have to get back to the white flag. 2 to go. After that, they're not gonna make it back. Wrecking. One car tumbling hard. Darrell Johnson. Branch gets some damage from Gilbert. And I think Branch might be the only one that got some damage out of those in the battle for the championship here. See, Shane Ward looks okay. Looks like Likens is okay. And the one thing 39 did not want to see. Shane Ward, we're going to overtime. And 93 almost had a little bit of a Ricky Craven 1996 look. One of the worst wrecks I've ever seen at Talladega. Let's get a better view of this, see if we can. It looked like it happened right around Seabrands there, down at the bottom. Oh, third, who's that car in the outside lane? Moved down. Oh, it was Zanina Taylor, it looks like. Oh, you know what? A little contact from 23 maybe even. This again here. Watch the right there. 23 gets into 9. Last but not least, parental guidance might be advised for this one. All right, so cars on pit road here, either getting damage fixed or getting fuel to get to the end of this race, as we've officially hit the regular lap mark here, 94 laps, 250 miles. We're going to add ourselves a little overtime in here. At the track Masters of the Draft Series as we wrap up the Xfinity block here. we should get one to go this time by. Everybody can double up. Could Tommy Rogers really win the opener at Daytona for the Xfinity car and win the finale, sandwiching 2 wins in here? A guy that literally 3 weeks ago said to me, yeah, I have no chance of winning tonight, goes and wins that same night at Daytona. A controversial matter, by the way. And now all of a sudden is leading here at Talladega. Keeping you update on those still in the running for the championship here. Jason Branch stayed out. He is 10th now. Shane Ward is 8th. Al Likens 18th right now. And then, of course, Josh McKinney in the 3rd position. This could really get interesting here. Of course, hypothetically here, we go back to that Daytona race. Tommy Rogers has said it multiple times. He does not regret one time what he did, though he didn't mean to wreck Branch, as I remember him putting it, but he did obviously trying to keep him from winning the race and fenced him pretty much. And Branch said if he had the opportunity, he would make sure that he didn't win the race next time. Here's Branch in 10th, Rogers in 1st. That's something else we're going to have to watch here. So here we go, coming to the green. Remember, you do got to make it back to the white flag to end this race. A little bit of wheel spin. Rogers, way too good of a restart. That's going to allow the 12 and the 1 to get the run in. The 24 is going to know he left it open. And spins right into Shane Ward. Oh, drifts on his lid. And Drift's trying to get some traffic. Drift needs help. Ooh, Tommy, a little crabby. Little crab. Ooh, Condon's got a broken left rear. A couple crab cars here. Rogers, unfortunately, got too good of a restart, and then he left the bottom lane open. Even for that split second right there. And Shane, nowhere to go, plows into him. Likens, nice miss there on the 34. Great job by Al to miss that. And it looks like Branch got through it too. Question now is how much damage does the 39 have? Get a shot at his front end here. Didn't see too much. I mean, he didn't come to pit road, so he might be okay. Let's go on board with Drift here. Wow, I mean, he got pretty much flapjacked, if you will. Or hamburger, whatever you want to call it. You put the spatula underneath it and flip it. That's pretty much what happened to Drift. He got Burger Kinged. Well, that's never mind. I don't know how to word that one. He got hit in the left rear, and his right side flipped up.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Meanwhile, Alexa's speaking up here. All right, so a little bit of nose damage there, right where it says "meh" in the Camaro. And there's Branch right there in front of him. McKinney's right there in front of him. I mean, this is going to get interesting now. If there's any engine damage on that 39, it's going to slow him down and potentially risk the thing blowing up. If there's any positive here, it's the cars that are on pit road here or a lap down, which isn't many. But I would say if McKinney or Branch or even Al Likens has a shot here, were to get to victory lane, I would think a top 5 is needed to keep Shane safe for a championship. And that's kind of going off of a not full knowledge of the points. I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head here, but let me go peek really quickly at the rule book. Because obviously leagues are different with point standings and stuff like that. Oh, here's plenty. You know what? Just realizing what I'm seeing here. There's a lot of people in the running for the championship right here. It's 150 for first, 145 for second, 140 for third, plus bonus points and stuff. So this really gets interesting. As once again, I show you the point standings. For some reason I thought it was lower points than that. So realistically, there's a lot of guys right here that could win this thing. I mean, Melnick could win this championship still. He's running second. I mean, Rogers was in the running until that. We're about to see. This is going to get interesting here. Of course, stage points and everything coming into play also. Come to the green. Got literally about 20 cars in this lead draft. And Dylan Picklesimmer, the leader. Oh, and Ward just got turned sideways. Oh, and Ward's trailing around, goes to 22. Caution is back out. honestly have no clue. Because I believe this is it. As white flag does wave, so this is it. Dylan Picklesimmer's going to win. And as for the champion, I don't have a damn clue. But unfortunately for the 39 of Shane Ward, I don't think, well, I don't know, because the bonus points might have helped him. But I don't think so. But we'll let the point tallies get put together here. The one thing we do know for sure is that the 12 of Dylan Picklesimmer is going to victory lane. And there's going to be a lot of mad people. I think there's two things. Let's the replay real quick as they come to the finish. It starts with Shane Ward gets contacted right there from Ryan Wilson. And then Gilbert goes to let him back on the track and drift, unfortunately. Gets into the back of the 22. Unfortunately, it's going to end under caution. And it's going to end with the 12 of Dylan Picklesimmer picking up the win in the finale. And as for the champion, who knows? Sam Taylor, Stephen Melnick, Anthony English, Josh McKinney, your top five. Branch comes back from 2 laps down to finish 6th. Rick Seabrands, Joe Wells, Sean Dion, and Ryan Wilson. As Dylan's going to come in and do some celebrating. In his, what are those things called, those boards with the lights that he's got on like a bar? They're called all of a sudden. Too tired. It's a pretty cool looking paint scheme, actually, I gotta say. Celebrate with some dueling burnouts. Take a look at the final results here. Picklesimmer wins it. Sam Taylor, Stephen Melnick, Anthony English, and Josh McKinney. You get a room for that. Finished top 5. Jason Branch 6th, Rick Seabrand 7th, Joe Wells 8th, Sean Dion 9th, and Ryan Wilson 10th. Dave Shutt ends up 11th. Tommy Rogers 12th, Shane Ward 13th, AJ Condon 14th, Mark Mann ends up in the 15th position. Al Likens 16th, Scott Wise, Dusty White, Travis Gilbert, Tim Shiflett finishing 20th, drifted 21st. Darrell Johnson, Brady Karowski, Evan Perry, Derek Jacobs, James Hudson, Eddie Rowaldi, Pete Polini, and Greg Thompson. Your 29 starters in the race here tonight. Talk to our top 3 finishers. Start with Stephen Melnick, who will finish in
Well,
the
the guy behind me didn't go.
third position here tonight. Congratulations, Stephen. Obviously, a tough race there, and obviously you fought back to get a top 3 with the 11 bonus points. I mean, obviously it's still to be determined who is the champion in this whole thing, but needless to say, still a great finish, and coconuts for all.
Coconuts for all, yeah. We got put some rum in there, rum in the coconut, right?
Whoa, easy now. All right, better be captain. Unofficial sponsor.
Little captain for the captain.
Unofficial sponsor. Obviously, man, talk about the racing. I know, obviously, there were wrecks tonight, but there was some pretty wild 2 and 3 wide racing here throughout the night.
Yeah, it was definitely wild. we knew it was going to be wild. It's Talladega, right? So, goal coming in the race, knew it was behind after last week. Sitting at a hotel trying to race on a 12-inch monitor, So, didn't have a great week last week, but knew we needed to get some stage points. Got that done. Try to get a top 5 and see where we land on the points here. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but we'll see. I mean, just put myself in position, at the end there. I mean, if maybe I have another lap, maybe I have a chance to pickle simmer, or but I mean, you have the 9 and 12 working well together, so kind of lost the chance getting that. What was in 4th behind me when the restart didn't go, and had to fall behind him, and cost me a chance there. But hey, paint scheme here, you might recognize it, like old, back from a Charlotte race that I won that you broadcast many years ago.
Make me feel old.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was an old Charlotte race, I figured I'd bring this paint scheme out tonight, see if I had a little magic in it,
It was a fuel-saving race, if I remember correctly.
That is correct. Yes, this was not a fuel-saving race tonight. This was a
car-saving.
Car-saving race. Yes, exactly. Exactly, man.
Well, great job tonight, and congratulations on your top 3, and send some shout-outs.
Shout out to my wife, son, daughter, who, they let me come down here, do this every week, and take time out, spending time with them. Kakamora Management, my own company, Hawkeye Tech, who, one of my clients, to you for broadcasting it. I know you got a few late races left, but great job every race you've ever done that I've ever been a part of, at least. Lauren and Scott for putting this on. Congratulations to Pickle Simmer. I mean, he had it. He won it. Congratulations to him. And shout out to Chris Lewis. Hey, Chris Lewis, you're out there. Craig Martin, old Showtime team from the up past. I mean, pretty much right now I'm kind of a single man team again.
I noticed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened to everybody, but single man team, and it's tough to win these races being a single person team. But hey, we've done this block. I think we did pretty well.
Hey, a top probably 5 points finish at least, at worst. So nothing to be ashamed of there, man. Great job.
No, man, I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Stephen Melnick, 3rd place finish here tonight. Of course, unofficially, who knows where he's going to finish points-wise. So it's to be determined, and could be a day or so before we actually get that, because they'll go reviewing all the points and stuff like that. So, but a great job on his part to finish in the 3rd position points-wise, and I'll keep my window open here just in case they do show up here. As we'll talk to our runner-up finish, Sam Taylor gets the 2nd place finish here in that 9 car. Of course, Sam, congratulations on a P2 run. Obviously, you spent most of the time up front there throughout the race, especially up in that top groove, but towards the end there, you and Dylan did a great job kind of working together and winning this race.
Yeah, it was a little hectic there to begin with. Got behind the 8 ball really early, then had to fight my way back, got to the front, and didn't really leave the front for too much of the race, I don't believe.
Well, obviously a battle when it was all over with here. Had some cautions and that kind of thing, but nonetheless, man, the one thing I kept seeing though was that 9 car being up front. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of racing, I guess, is what I like to consider my bread and butter. I mean, it was fun. I like doing it. I can work the draft really well and push really, really well. Just glad to get to 12 in victory lane.
Obviously, not really in a chance to win the championship here this run. But obviously, you come to the Gen 4 car coming up here in 2 weeks. Talk about that a little bit. And are we going to be able to make the 4 races, we think, as of right now?
I sure hope so. I like the Gen 4 car. That's not really a car you can push with,
Nope.
but I'm pretty well at managing the bubble, I guess you would say, and pushing in that regard. So hopefully I can have a little bit of an advantage with the knowledge I know in that car.
Well, hopefully it'll go well for you, man. Well, congratulations, and send some shouts whoever you like to.
Yeah, appreciate it. Just first, I guess, want to shout out my teammates, 12, 93, 25. 2, he helps us a lot. Scott for putting everything on. I mean, everybody that does everything. You, good broadcasts. Just, I guess, thankful for everybody all around that puts it on.
For those who need lottery numbers, insert the numbers that Sam just said, the shout outs to. Great job tonight, bud.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Sam Taylor finishing in the 2nd position. Great job on his part. By the way, that was what, the 12, the 2. I can't remember. The 9. Oh, wait, that's his number. I don't know. There you go. Lottery numbers for all. Speaking of the 12, he goes to victory lane here tonight as Dylan Picklesimmer picks up the win here in that very cool paint schemed number 12 car. Obviously, Dylan, great job, man, to pull out the win. I know you had to avoid some carnage throughout the night, as a lot of people did. But you were able to work your way up to the front when it counted and get the win.
Yep, felt nice. It's been a long time coming. I got caught up in a couple wrecks early on, but once I got track position, I was able to keep it and just got lucky there at the end, man. That's all it takes sometimes. And felt good to finally get it.
You and Sam obviously did a great job working well with each other there towards the end of the race. And I know, like, Sam was one of those guys who saw up front most of the race. And, you know, for you to get up there and be able to work with a teammate like the 9, I had to feel pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely the guy I want on my bumper at the end of these things. He might not be good everywhere else on these tracks I'm not racing, but he sure as heck knows how to get these super speedways done. I grew up with him, man. I love that man. He's one of my best friends, and I'm happy he's in here with me. We got 1 and 2.
That's awesome. That's a very cool story there, man. I know it's got to feel pretty good to get this one off your list.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's been a rough season. I was looking. I've only had 3 top 10s out of like how many starts. It's been a rough year, but we finally got it.
Hey, and this could be that one that breaks it open. And Gen 4 cars coming up here in 2 weeks to kick off that block of racing. So a little bit of momentum there.
Yeah, for sure. I like the Gen 4s. It'll be a good time. I wanted to say one thing. I was watching your stream the other day, and my wife was with me, and she's like, "He's not saying your name right." And I was like, Picklesimmer. I told her, I was like, listen, if I ever win in there again, I'll tell them when I'm in victory lane. So there it is, brother. Picklesimmer.
Hold on here. You mean to tell me for how many races we done now? I'm just finding this out.
Well, I've always said I'd get it in victory lane. I was just waiting to get in here and get me a win, and I finally got one, brother.
All right. Well, I like it, and I appreciate it. Picklesimmer.
Picklesimmer, yep.
Picklesimmer. There you go. Well, Dylan, man, great job. The floor is yours here in the Vet the Track victory lane. Send a shout whoever you like to.
I want to thank all the sponsors. Of course, I want to thank you because I always love going back to watch these, even if I ran like crap. I love watching them. And I want to thank my wife, of course. I want to thank my mom, all my family, my TNT teammates, Al, Daryl, James, Dusty, and Sam. And I want to thank Scott and Lauren because they put on a good league. Sometimes it's rough, but we get through it, and that's how it goes, man. I appreciate it.
There you go. Shout out to Mrs. Picklesimmer. Haha. Just kidding. Great job, Dylan, on the win, man. Congratulations. Go celebrate.
Appreciate it, man.
You too, buddy.
Thanks.
Dylan Picklesimmer with the win here tonight. Congratulations to him, and appreciate his help with the pronunciation guide there as he goes to victory lane. A big shout out to Vet to Track, obviously, for sponsoring the victory lane interviews and also the main sponsor of the series. So big shout out to Vet to Track and what they do here for the series. Hard Charger Award tonight here, presented, of course, by Superior Templating, digitalized templating. Let's see, Josh McKinney. I think everybody qualified tonight, and Josh started I believe he was on track. So if I remember that correctly, I know it was like 2 hours ago. Josh McKinney, I believe, is your hard charger here tonight. So congratulations to him. See, Melnick started in the pit, so it wouldn't be him. It's either going to be Josh McKinney or Rick Seabrands would be your two guys. So one of them two. Congratulations on your Superior Templating Hard Charger Award here this evening. Let me see. Yeah, I think they're going to be working on the points here, so we're not going to know who's the champion. I can kind of. Throw a guess out there. If I had to guess, it might actually. It's either going to be. I mean, I don't know. I'm probably gonna be way off. But I'm just doing quick math here, looking over at the screen right now, and how the points are all shaped up, and who got stage points. You got points there. And got points. You know what? It might actually be Josh McKinney. Would be who I guess it would be. Which, if that's the case, would be heartbreaking for Shane, but it would still stay in the teammate with Josh McKinney. So we'll see how it's all done. They know what they're doing and stuff there, but that's just me going off my math in the top of my head, which, growing up in Florida, my math's not that good. So either way, we're going to get out of here and go get some sleep, get ready for tomorrow, and go from there. So appreciate all the viewers. I know pretty much most of you, I think, are in the Discord for the National Association for Stock Car Virtual Racing League. So if not, then I'll figure out something maybe to let you guys know who won the championship or whatever. Maybe I'll post it in the captain channel or something on Discord. But either way, shout out to the league, obviously. Big shout out to all the sponsors for what they do, from Superior Templating to Vet to Track to Vivid EV, and then obviously last but certainly not least, the sponsor of the block of racing here, which was Key City Hobby, for what they do for sponsoring the races here. But obviously to Scott and Lauren, appreciate what they do. I know it's a lot of work running the league, and it's very stressful. So big shout out to those guys for what they do. All the racers, all the viewers, as always, thank you very much. Otherwise, we'll come back in 2 weeks and do it again on the 18th from Daytona in the Gen 4 car, or the ARCA car, or the old 1990s stock car. It'll be a lot of fun to watch that one. So remember, this isn't just a game, it's iRacing. See ya!
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain eSports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
I knew this was going to happen. I tried to stall. As soon as I said that word, it shows up. Here's the points. Let me get them loaded in here real quickly. Now, this is going to be unofficial when I show you this, but my math turned out to actually be accurate. And Josh McKinney has officially, or unofficially, won the championship by 12 over both Jason Branch and Shane Ward. Stephen Melnick ends up 4th, Al Likens 5th. Again, this is all unofficial. So, I just had that feeling as soon as I go to sign off, the points would show up. It's a weird way of happening. I'm not complaining. It's all good. Let's, is Josh isn't here, unfortunately. Well, we'll make sure we get a word with Josh when we come back here in 2 weeks if he's here. Josh McKinney, great job. Congratulations. unofficially the champion of the Xfinity Series. I think he drove 4 different cars in the 4 races. Very interesting, but nice job to Josh. Those stage points ended up being big, I said in the end, as he got 12, I think it was tonight, stage points. And ended up getting it by 12 over Jason Branch. So, all right, for real, I'm out of here. This isn't just a game, it's iRacing. See ya!
The following is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.